All right, everyone, welcome in. Let's get this started. Steve, we'll start with you today. I'm sure people want to talk about Messi, so let's do that first, and then we'll get to some technical stuff ahead of Seattle.
Okay, Coach, have you sold your tickets for October 21st yet?
Good morning, Steve. Why?
Because everybody seems to be doing that. It's the greatest investment in Charlotte right now.
I mean, I hope not to have a ticket, but to be still on the bench.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure you have, for family and stuff like that. But
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
um, there have been a number of, big name players who have come over to MLS, and uh, this will,
More than two,
after
Steve.
Beckham,
More than
yeah.
two.
But and after the changes that
Mm.
David Beckham brought when he came. This is going to be, I don't put this on the same level as when Pele came over to the NASL because soccer in this country was in a different place at that time. And it's by far the big participant sport now. And the league has grown so immensely. But what is your take on, bringing a player like Messi, even at this point in his career, to MLS?
Well, you don't need. I'm just repeating, echoing probably things that everybody said. MLS is a great coup. I received many messages from friends, from people, from colleagues that obviously that gives the MLS an extra dimension, because it's true that maybe Messi is not at the prime of his career, but he's still a very respectable player. He scored important goals and assists for Paris Saint-Germain this year to allow them to win yet another title, even though it was a difficult season for them. And he just won the World Cup with Argentina. So being one of the most, if not the most important player on the pitch. So we are talking about a guy that is still playing football at a higher level, and I think that his name and his ability and let's say the aura that he has around him, I think will benefit MLS, everybody. And just staying as on the football side is a great player to have for Miami, because in the end, I mean, everybody's talking all the important things off the pitch, so the marketing side and the visibility and what impact will have on football. But we are talking about the football player that goes to play in a football team. And normally, you want players that give you emotions. People are ready to pay for emotions, and to have that, to have a player that can give you that because of his style of play, because of what he has done consistently over the years, it's certainly something that will benefit MLS, Miami, obviously, as a team, but all the teams and all the supporters and the youngsters that they can be inspired by having a player that will come, I'm sure, with the right attitude to give everything he has got and to grace the MLS.
All right, Willie P, let's move to some technical stuff.
What's going on, Coach? How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Will you?
I'm well. Camille and Enzo, what are your thoughts about them for Saturday?
My thoughts is that I would like them to play for us all the time. These are my thoughts. And I'm not sure we will have the possibility to see them. Might be a little bit too early. In this, I know that they are ready to go. They want to, but we need to respect the opinion of the performance department, that they, treat them, they monitor them on a daily basis. And so, as I said in the past, Will, is very important for us to get important players like them to recover 100%. Then when they are back, they are gonna be back to stay. We have obviously we have the squad, and all the players will take their place. But obviously these are two important players. They are very important players for us.
In terms of having the international break too, there, I'm guessing that at least allows you to get them a little bit more healthy. And also, how much does that maybe even help someone like Guzman get himself back to fitness and back to a level of chemistry with the squad, and making sure that he can maybe sustain more than that 30 minutes he had against Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Guzman is very important. Every day training now, he has been training with us. But as you know, Will, we didn't have time to train. This week has been the only week in which we could train with the intensity and the timing that we are used to and that we want. And obviously, Guzman needed that in order to get back to what we know that he can do. But it's a process. It takes time, and we need to respect that.
Christian talked about the differences in your guys' defense structure from last year to this year. I know that with a full offseason, you've probably been able to implement a lot more. I know pieces in and out also might change it, but how would you describe, without obviously giving any trade secrets away, the change in philosophy in terms of what you guys want to do defensively?
I mean, my idea, Will, is to create a team that is very dynamic, that is dynamic with the ball, without the ball, that we can be aggressive, and that we can be able to, to really play a fast-moving game. So with the ball and without the ball. And so I'm always looking at the possibilities that we have within the squad. And, Will, the other is important also to understand that the last game was a little bit frustrating, especially in the first half, because we went to two difficult plays like LA that we saw after us score 3 goals away. Philadelphia again got 3 goals before us. Then, they are a high-scoring team. And we kept a clean sheet in LA. We conceded only 1 in Philadelphia in a way that didn't please me at all, because I think we are very well drilled to deal with that kind of situation, or at least the boys showed that on a number of occasions. So it was a lack of concentration that is very costly at this level. And so against Columbus, I thought that we gifted again the first goal. It was too casual the way we conceded the first one. And if you look at the second one and the fourth one, we are actually in a situation where we are 5 against 3 on one side. And in this situation, 5 against 3, I mean, you should win the ball. And if you don't, there is we have to improve to be aggressive in those moments. And I know we talk about Messi as this global star, but what that shows also is that is coming the transfer window in July. And I think that the boys have done really well. The front office knows that I ask for at least 3 players in order for us to keep at least 3 players to improve our squad. That because I think we have some gaps in certain position. I think the boys have done unbelievably well and to bring us until here. But the front office knows, they knew from the beginning, they agreed, I trust them, and I know that they will do a good job, but they know that we need at least, because teams are getting stronger, and they will be stronger by bringing, not everybody can bring Messi, obviously, but, that tells you what kind of improvement, for example, Miami will have. And we know that in order to get to our objective, which is to compete for a playoff spot, we need that. So I am in totally agreement with the front office, but they know that we need at least 3 players to keep promoting our path.
Is that 3 in terms of you just need that many players, or are you talking about specific areas that you want to address?
Yeah, there are. I mean, I don't want to go too much into that because this is something that the front office is very aware of, and we are on the same wavelength. But it's important to understand that if you want to compete for the objective that we had, we need to keep strengthening. And they knew from the beginning that, and they told me that obviously we could do certain movement on the first transfer window, but now there is a second one, and I think that the boys have done unbelievably well to bring us here, and now there are certain gaps that we need to, certain characteristics that we need to add to our squad in order to keep moving on and to make us more competitive.
Do you feel like I'll end on this. Do you feel like your attack could be more diverse in nature in terms of how you create opportunities to score?
Possibly, but Will, also remember that we played, and again, it's just not to find excuses because I totally trust the guys that they are in the squad and the one that I put on the pitch. But we played against a very strong Columbus team and without two DPs. And that for a young team like us, I think it's as is important, without taking away anything from the players that played, that they did their best. But obviously, I agree, but we have been playing for a number of weeks now without Enzo, without Camille. And that, for every team, if you take away Zelarayan and Cuccio to Columbus, I think that the game would have been slightly different.
Very much so. Appreciate the time as always, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Thanks, Will. We'll go to John next. Just a reminder, if you have a question, raise your hand. Otherwise, John's the last hand I see right now.
Good morning, Christian. How are you?
Good morning, John. I'm fine, thanks.
Seattle leads MLS in total passes this year. They're also first in accurate long balls and forward zone passes. And so what do you guys have to do defensively in order to combat that?
I think the important thing is to put Seattle under pressure, because if you leave quality players free to play, I know one of them midfielder, Albert Rusnak, that I had in Man City when he was a young player, and we could see at the time already that he was a very talented boy. He was bought in Holland at a young age, and then he became DP here, Salt Lake, and now Seattle. So I know the quality that he has. I know Joao Paulo is a very good player, Lodeiro, and so forth. Again, we meet against a quality side that they have quality on the ball, and the only way that you can limit that is to put them under pressure and to play with the high tempo. Because if you leave them dictate the game, it's gonna become more difficult to limit them. So to play compact and to play with high tempo.
Carroll has scored in 2 of the last 3 matches. We know how good Enzo's been when he's been in there, and we know the impact that Justin has made at both ends of the pitch. But how nice is it to see that Carroll is starting to rediscover some of the form that he had last year when he scored 10 goals?
Yeah, Carroll is a good attacking player, as we know. That he has this ability to find a goal and to be sharp around the box. He has a good shot. He can smell a goal, so that doesn't surprise me. I think that he has been playing well and improved when he's playing back to the goal, and also he brings high energy. That's why it would have been great to have him with Enzo and Camille, and obviously Justin brings different characteristics, and Kerwin, without forgetting Mackenzie and all the players that have been, and Brandon, that as a young player did brilliantly. Also Patrick, that was difficult for him, but to have Enzo, Carroll, and Camille, that they are high pressing and high working strikers as well, having a goal or an assist in them, I think it would be great to have. I would have liked to have them together a little bit more, but this is what it is, and we need to get the best of what we have. And I think that the boys, again, this week they train with a lot of intensity. I see Carol, Camille, and Enzo to be close to the comeback, which pleases us. And yes, I mean, having Carol in good shape is important for us. There is no getting away from that.
Last question for me. I know that you're obviously 100% focused on Seattle, but the next 3 matches are 3 teams that are right below you for the last playoff spot, which you guys are in right now. I don't know if you look at the standings or how often you do, but you play the Red Bulls, Montreal, and then NYCFC after this match. So how much do you feel like that it's important for you guys, obviously, to get the 3 points against Seattle to sort of send you on your way and get back to that winning feeling? But How important do you feel like that this could be a nice sort of, I guess you could say, setup for those 3 matches against teams that are chasing you for a playoff spot?
Very important, John, to do well. But as you said, I'm focused on Seattle. I think we have to take one game at a time and to give our best shot game by game. It's a very simple message, but it is the message in which I believe. We need to be focused game by game, because it's true what you are saying, but at the same time, things can change rapidly. If you put together a run of good results, you can rapidly climb the table, and so without doing too much calculation. What I want is to see the team moving on and to have all the players available. Once that is the case, I think it's up to me and the coaching staff to make the right choice in terms of personnel. But it would be great to have all the players, especially the one that they are for experience, ability, and status that give us period. Well, that's is vital.
Dig in the powder blue shirt. Good luck on Saturday, Christian.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Caleb, and then we will end with Mike.
Hey, Christian, just got one question for you. We're officially halfway into the season here. Just want to know some areas that you want the team to improve on here going into the second half of the season.
I think, Caleb, we need to improve in the all-around game. I think that we have. We want us to be a little bit more compact when we defend, to defend a little bit higher, generally speaking, and then when we play to create more chances. I think this is the 2 areas in which I would like us to improve. But then it's also linked to the players that you have at disposal sometimes, because obviously with the younger players you need. And they have done really well again. They put themselves about, and you can't. But they need time to adjust to the MLS and to acquire a kind of consistency. That's why I think we also need, to strengthen the squad. As I said, that we need at least 3 players to push and to be competitive for the objective that we have, which is the one to go to the playoff.
And I'm sure staying healthy in the second half of the season will
As well. I mean, to have all the disposal and then to strengthen the squad. This is our has to be our main objective.
Great. Thank you so much. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Caleb.
All right, final ones with Mike Solarte.
Thanks very much. Good afternoon, Christian. How are you, sir?
Very well, thanks. You?
Hanging in there. My question to you talked about strengthening the squad, but you've also talked about in the past how you don't want your guys feeling sorry for themselves when things go the wrong way. Is this team starting to develop that mental toughness you want them to have, or is that still a continuous work in progress?
Mike, this is a work in progress, because it's like I would say, the mentality is something that comes with, and I think that the boys showed a very good mentality, so they are improving in that. The fact that sometimes I want always more, and I need to keep motivating our boys, right? So, and I think that it's very important that people understand that when we go away, I think that the people respect the way the boys play. The Philadelphia respect the way we play. Galaxy respect the way that we played, and I think with Columbus, if we didn't start, I thought that the game was really even until we gave away a goal, and then unfortunately, that can happen, that we make a mistake. Even if it's one that I think we should do better, we are not under pressure and we give the ball away in an uncharacteristic way. And then after, given that football is a game of emotion, and we try to keep playing, and then they find another one, and then it becomes more difficult. But in the second half, I asked for a response, and already the response in the second half tells you that the boys they have a good mentality, because possibly last year we wouldn't have came back to 3-2. And then the fourth goal again is a mistake that we are, 5 against 3 on one side of the pitch. We normally should deal with that ball. Instead, we get penetrated and they find straight away, because I thought at that point that we had a chance also to get something from the game. Then after, when you go, the momentum shifted again, but I didn't see our team collapsed at all. So I think that the mentality of the boys is improving, and the mentality is also given by the players that you have, and the youngsters, they're giving everything that they can, and also the older ones. But we played for a long time without important players through experience, or even now we can't really put our strong 11. It seems that we cannot put our strong 11 on the pitch yet. So again, it's work in progress, but I think that the boys don't disgrace themselves at all, and I think that they are pretty competitive in each game that they go through.
And I have one more for you. It's hang on a second. I've got to decline a phone call there. 39 years ago, young man, Ghostbusters was released in theaters. What is your favorite Bill Murray movie?
Lost in Translation. I wanted to say Ghostbusters, but then otherwise it looked like I know only that one. There was Groundhog Day as well I liked, but Lost in Translation is a movie that I really enjoyed. I know maybe me and you are gonna get criticized for this movie, but don't care about what people say. I think is a great. I'm glad that you are in the panel of our journalists. But Ghostbusters, I love it. When it came on, I think I watched it 3 or 4 times in the movies with the friends. We couldn't have enough of that. Also for the music.
What about Lost in Translation spoke to you? What did you like about that?
Well, I like the fact that two different people of 2 different generations, they found themselves in an alien place for them, and they get something in common. And I think that there are no barriers, right? So between human beings, age, ethnicity, or where you are, I think being humans, we should be able to connect. And I think that we are creating more barriers than really there are.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Just a heads up, I won't be here next week. So
Miseria. We are going to be missed.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to cancel, I'm actually going on vacation. I'll be in Las Vegas. So
but in Las Vegas, you can still do the Zoom call. There is no internet in Las Vegas.
There's no Wi-Fi at the casinos. So yeah. But so if you want to go ahead and cancel next.
If you told me I go to in the middle of the Sahara, okay, then I can understand. But you're going to Las Vegas. Come on, Mike. There is no.
It's basically the same thing. I mean, I'm basically stuck in the middle of the desert. Yeah. But so if you want to cancel next week's press availability right now, you can go ahead and do that, because I won't be here. So
yes, I will think about that. Seriously, consider that. Can I join you?
Okay, come on. Love to have you.
All right.
Good luck this weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. We will wrap up there.